Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another competitive guide video, and today we are covering Chien, at least that's how I think you say it. I'm not going to be 100% sure of that, and obviously if I have said it wrong, do correct me in the comment section below. But this thing is pretty darn bulky, base 135 in its special defense, base 100 in defense, 85-95 in its attack and special attack. I mean, it's okay, but I've come up with a few sets that can work for this thing. Now in terms of useful move, you have got things like Body Slam, you have got Body Press. So Body Slam has a chance to paralyze, 30% chance to paralyze, and it will half the speed of the Pokemon. Body Press works on your defenses, which obviously base 100 defense is pretty good, meaning if you have a defensive investment, then Body Press is definitely a good option. Dark Pulse, pretty good coverage, and obviously Stab move, same with Energy Ball. Foul Play, because realistically sometimes you may not be invested in your attack stats. Foul Play relies on your opponent's investments and would use their defense instead. Giga Drain to get some recovery, which is really helpful. Grass Knot for, you know, those Pokemon that are slightly heavier. Hex works as well if you have a Pokemon that is setting up things like Toxic Spikes and then the Pokemon gets toxic. You can then Hex, causing that Pokemon to have double damage from the Hex. Knock Off to get rid of any items. You've got Leaf Storm, powerful grass type attack. Leech Seed to be able to get a little bit of health back each turn. Light Screen and Reflect, really fantastic because it obviously doubles up your defenses, and you know, if you run that with Light Play, works really well. Ruination to half the HP of the opposing Pokemon. That works really well with Chien because it hasn't got as good investment in its attack and special attack. And then we have things like Taunt to stop things from setting up. Realistically, if things can't set up against you, you're going to be actually doing pretty darn okay. And then Trailblaze in case you need to increase up your speed. In terms of doubles moves, we have got a few different ones like Tickle, which allows you to lower down the attack and defense of the opponent's Pokemon. Protect, which allows you to obviously protect yourself. Snarl, which lowers down the special attack of the opponent's Pokemon, which can be really handy. Pollen Puff to be able to heal up your ally and also cause damage on the opponent. And Knock Off to get rid of items. At least those were the ones that kind of really stuck out. We've got things like Leech Seed as well. Giga Drain, which Foul Play, all that kind of stuff works really well in doubles too. In terms of Terra types, the one that I would mainly recommend is going to be your Fire Terra type, and that is going to, because it's going to get rid of your Fire weakness, it's going to get rid of your Ice weakness, it's going to get rid of your Fairy weakness and your Bug weakness, making them into resistances. So that can work really nicely, and obviously you've then got your Fighting weakness and your Flying weakness, which then just turns into just normal damage. So actually that can work really well for you in terms of a good Terra type, and obviously you can run Terra Blast to hit super effectively on a lot of those different mons as well. I hummed and hawed about the Steel type, and actually I think the Steel type is a good typing for this because whilst you do still take the damage from things like the Fighting type and the Fire type, you do get rid of a lot of your other weaknesses, and Steel type generally is really good for hitting the vast majority of Pokemon. It's one of the most solid types out there. So it can work well, but I think Fire typically will work better. And then Flying type as well just covers a few of your weaknesses, the Fighting types and the Bug types in particular, which are obviously your biggest problems. If you have that Terra Blast on there, it works definitely as a good offensive capability. So I definitely recommend Fire as the main one, Flying as backup, and then Steel if you want to try and run something a little bit more interesting there. Now let's have a look at these sets. The first set I've gone for is a Choice Spec set, and the Choice Spec set basically allows you to be able to cause damage on the opponent's Pokemon. We're going to look at the ability Tablets of Ruin. Now this one is pretty darn good for making sure that you are preserved. So your defense is base 80, but with your opponents having their attack at 0.75, that is going to be pretty darn handy for you because it is going to cause your opponents to be able to do less damage to you, which is really handy. In terms of moves, I've gone for Dark Pulse, powerful Dark type attack boosted by Stab, Energy Ball, powerful Grass type attack boosted by Stab, Terra Blast, and I have put the Fire type there, so Terra Fire, which allows you to cover a lot of your weaknesses, and I've also put Pollen Puff on here. It doesn't get much coverage in general, Chien, but obviously the Pollen Puff can hit things like Psychic types, it can also hit things like Dark types as well, so it gives a little bit of coverage on a few other Pokemon. EV-wise, max HP, max special attack, modest nature, more special attack and less attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. Realistically, this thing is just going to take a few attacks. You might want to wish Pokemon in the back to be able to heal you up, but the idea of this thing is it just does some attacks over time. Moving on to the second Chien set, I have got a screen set. Now, Chien actually is a really good Pokemon for setting up screens because it has got that really good defensive capability. So I'll put the light play on here. It increases the turns from 5 to 8 on your reflect and light screen. You set up a reflect, set up a light screen, and your opponent is going to be able to do a lot less damage to you. Now I've chucked Taunt on here as well. Now you could replace Taunt with another attacking move if you wanted to. That is entirely up to you how you decide to play that. I thought Taunt would work quite nicely because it stops the opponent from being able to set up. So for example, things like Swords Dancers. And also, I've put Leech Seed on here. Leech Seed allows you to get passive recovery each turn. You are going to take a little bit of damage, but each turn, hopefully that Leech Seed will give you a little bit of recovery, which will be really handy for you. EV-wise, there's a few ways of running this. Max HP, max special defense is a possibility with a calm nature, so more special defense, less attack, and 4 EVs in defense. You could run max HP, max defense with a bold nature, so more defense, less attack, or you could run the split defenses EVs if you wanted to. It would base on how your calcs are and what other Pokemon you already have in your team, so that's kind of down to your decision what you go for with the EVing there. Going on to the third Chien, I've gone for a Choice Band set because actually base 85 attack is not dreadful, and this thing can live a couple of attacks, meaning that it probably could use 2 or 3 hits without having too many issues. You've got Body Slam, which allows you to paralyze the opponent at 30% chance, and obviously paralyze them at half their speed, which means you're probably going to be more likely to outspeed them. Power Whip, powerful grass type attack boosted by Stab. Knock Off to get rid of items, because let's face it, getting rid of items is absolutely huge. It makes a lot of Pokemon a lot less scary. And then Zen Headbutt, particularly for coverage on things like your fighting type weakness. EV-wise, max HP, max attack with an adamant nature, some more attack, less special attack, and 4 EVs of special defense. This thing basically is just bring it in, click an attack, keep on clicking the attack, possibly switch out, have a wish user, so like I can't actually think of Pokemon that uses Wish. Things like maybe Vaporeon, or not Umbreon, but Vaporeon potentially could work as a Wish user. Change that Wish over to you, and then just keep on attacking. So that's kind of the idea that comes from this set with Chien. Moving on to the next one, we have got kind of one that can be used in doubles and also in singles, and it's much more of a support set. So we've got the Tangerberry here, which reduces the damage from bug type attacks, so you can replace that with lots and lots of other things, but particularly in doubles, having that as an option would definitely be really handy. On here I've got Ruination. Ruination halves the HP of the opponent's Pokemon, which obviously with Chien not doing as much damage, it definitely works well. Leech Seed, allowing you to get that passive recovery each turn and also dwindling down the opponent, or forcing a switch, which obviously will benefit you as well. Stun Spore, which allows you to paralyze the opponent's Pokemon. It is only about 70 to 75% accurate. I can't actually remember which one it is, but it isn't very accurate, so you do have the chance of missing that paralysis. Obviously, if they get fully paralyzed and you're still getting that passive recovery, that can be really handy. And I've also put Protect on here just to, again, continue getting that passive recovery from the Leech Seed, get an extra turn on there. So in singles, that would work really nicely. In doubles, you can just Protect as and when you deem it necessary. So it works in singles and doubles for this. EV-wise, I've got max HP, max special defense with a calm nature, so more special defense, less attack, and 4 EVs in special attack. Again, with this one, you could run it as max HP, max defense. You could run it as max HP and split defenses if you wanted to. It's up to you, again, based on what your team is looking at. And the final one that's more explicitly doubles, this has got leftovers on it, but you could put any variety of items on there. You could put Tangerberry, Choppleberry, I think it's the fighting types. You could put Covert Cloak, you could put the Clear Amulet, you could put leftovers, you could put a Healing Berry, a Stat Increasing Berry. Lots and lots and lots of different items are usable on there instead of leftovers. In terms of attacks, this one is going to be much more of kind of a support Pokemon. So we've got Snarl to lower down the special attack of your opponent, obviously meaning that you are not going to be taking as much damage. Obviously their attack is already at 0.75, so you don't have to worry about that one as much. So you come in, you Snarl, lower down the special attack, basically causing the opponent to really struggle to be able to fight against you. You then have Pollen Puff, which allows you to do damage, but also to heal up your ally. Giga Drain to get some health back and also cause some damage on the opponent. And then Tickle, which lowers the attack and the defense. Obviously, if you have a physical attacker next to you, that Tickle can really work well in your favor. 1, reducing the amount of damage you're taking, and 2, increasing the amount of damage that you're causing. So as a support set, this definitely works really nicely in doubles. EV wise, it's the same as before, max HP, max special defense, or max HP, max defense, or max HP and the split in defenses. It's up to you how you decide to run it. Again, it's based on your team, so this is kind of your starting point to see where you go with this. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what sets you use in the comment section below. And I'm going to get out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.